All right, we feeling good. Yeah, let's just do it. Yo, what's up, everybody? It's your favorite rapper in the game, JusJrdn here. I just wanted to hop on the mic and say, I know the world been a little chaotic and everything. I just wanted to check and make sure everything good in the hood, like sure, you know what I mean? Say hi to the fam. Okay, let's get to work. What up? Hey everybody, I just wanted to say thank you so much for clicking and listening or watching. It really means a lot, and if you like it, please like or rate. It would really mean a lot to the podcast, to myself, and please don't forget to follow and subscribe. We just starting off, and every comment, every rating, every share, every follow means a lot. So thank you so much. Really appreciate it. We got episodes dropping every Wednesday. Okay, I know I read one of these before, but we're going to start off the podcast with it again. I read this every day, the Daily Stoic, 366 Meditations on Wisdom, Perseverance, and the Art of Living by Ryan Holiday. I love this book. So the day I'm making this podcast is June 5th, so it's coming out a couple days before, but I just thought this one really, I was like, yo, I got to read this one. Okay, it's called Blow Your Own Nose. We cry to the God Almighty. How can we escape this agony? Fool, don't you have hands? Or could it be God forgot to give you a pair? Sit and pray your nose doesn't run? Or rather, just wipe your nose and stop seeking a scapegoat. I'm not going to... And then Epictetus Discourses 2.16.13. And then it goes, the world is unfair. The game is rigged. So and so has it out for you. Maybe these theories are true, but practically speaking, for the right here and now, what good are they to you? The government report or the sympathetic news article isn't going to pay the bills or rehab your broken leg or find the bridge loan you need. Succumbing to the self-pity and woe is me narrative accomplishes nothing. Nothing except sapping you of the energy and motivation you need to do something about your problems. I butchered that. I was just getting too hyped. I didn't even read the whole thing. I was getting too hyped while I was reading it. Isn't that motivating? It's so true. It's so true. Wipe your own nose. There's so many problems we all face and so many things, and it's difficult. Lots of things are difficult. Trying to sell 10,000 vinyl albums, difficult. Trying to be a parent, I'm sure that shit is difficult. Trying to accomplish your goals, trying to lose that weight, trying to put on that muscle, trying to eat more protein, trying to drink more water. These are all things, and it's like, man, you could pray to some God, your God, or you can get out there and just fucking do the thing. Figure it out. No one's coming, no one's helping. Fucking do it, man. Do it. God gave you the hands to do it. Oh, that's crazy. How motivating, You have so much more power than you think. Sometimes things just shitty, Sometimes things just shitty. That's okay. Get through it. It's hard sometimes. It's hard. Get through it. Get through it. You can. Just grind. Sometimes happiness isn't around for a little while. That's okay. And that's the difference between, I think, happiness and joy, which I think is interesting. I heard a talk about this, and, so many people want to be happy. And it's like happiness is like a fleeting thing, while joy is like across time. So even in times of pain and sorrow and discomfort, there could be joy in that. It's a much... the joy of the journey, not that the situation is joyous by any means. It doesn't mean that. it's just, it's that's finding the silver lining. It's just like, this is an awful situation, but it doesn't have to be an awful life, and things will be overcome, and I have more power in the moment than I think. And I think that just applies to a whole bunch of things, Whew, man, that got crazy. See, that's why I love the Daily Stoic. It gets me going, I'm just, you just have so much power. And I believe that with all of my being. I think your biggest critic, your biggest obstacle is always you. And, it's like you have so much power. You could constantly be learning. You could be constantly physical. There's always ways. Stand up more. You walk around the off or whatever it is. There's always a solution. It's just the smallest things. The smallest things work over time. It's just crazy. It's just commitment is hard, and most people don't want their problem solved, or some people don't want to acknowledge that a lot of your life is your own responsibility. But that's an empowering thought, I think, anyways. Those are my beliefs. Anywho. And thank you for listening to them. Man, one thing over the last, I'm an artist, but I'm a musician, but over the last, I don't know, probably month, 2 months, I just really have, man, art is just such an incredible thing. And like in the creation of it and the consumption of it, it's just crazy. Luke Combs came to Edmonton, a couple of days ago, whatever, whenever you're listening to this podcast. And man, what a spectacle it was. I went and picked up my sister after the show. She went, and her and her fiance. And man, just seeing the groups of people that were there, the amount of people, the traffic in and out of the stadium. I believe, if my facts are correct, the Coliseum is the biggest undomed, like outdoor Coliseum in Canada. And man, it's huge. At 50, 60,000 people, I think. Let me just freaking put it up real fast. Let me just, here we go. Capacity of Commonwealth Stadium. Oh, 60,000. And this, my sister saying it was pretty full. So I think she was saying there was like 50,000 people there. That's insane. I've done some big shows, 1,500, 2,000 people. And those were crazy. The energy and, it's a crazy feeling. I couldn't imagine once you start to get into tens of thousands, what that must be like. It must be like something else. Because even the difference between like a 50 to 100 person show and a 2,000 person show, that feels so different. So different. Where I'm at as an artist right now, I think I hit best in that. I can do it. It's just always different, man. I like to get deep with the shows and hype. I like it. It's a journey. I think you just, as an artist, I just tailor each performance to what it is. If it's a small show, we can do something cool there. If it's a bigger show, we can do something crazier there, or any which way. But anyways, I'm talking about all this art that I love. Luke Combs, how inspiring is that to see some of the fuck? And I think that dude just cool. I haven't listened to a lot of his music or whatever, but what a G, man. And it's cool to see people excel at what they do. Like, one of the biggest artists in the world to come to Edmonton and to hit the stadium. Oh my God, the biggest venue, one of the biggest outdoor venues in Canada, if not the biggest. What a crazy accomplishment that is, wild, inspiring, truly, to myself. It just, you can go achieve such big things, if you grind and you're talented and, you just keep going. Let's see what's up. Art is just that one sports really does that too. You know, there's a lot of stories of rags to riches and, you know, being the greatest of all time, coming from nothing. It is so inspiring, you know? That's the shit that gets me hyped up. Go accomplish my daily to-do list, you know? Let's be the greatest of all time. But artists, I've been really obsessed, and especially with the finishing Olympus, and we doing music videos and shit right now, and so I'm just trying to get ideas and inspiration. So it's like, and then I'm working on Mr. J and the Heartbroken Homies, which that name just sounds so cool, I think. Anyways, just wait till we do that era. It's going to be crazy. The end of Olympus is going to be wild. And then you're going to be like, oh shit, if that was wild, what's he got planned for the next shit? We got some crazy shit planned. Oh, we working. It's weird sometimes because the camera is a little bit higher. You know what I'm saying? I know if you're listening, my eye contact doesn't really matter. We're eventually going to adjust that and see what's up, what's best. Y'all like me staring straight? Should I be looking up more? Or should I just check in every once in a while? I don't know. Anyways, one thing, because I'm dropping vinyl, Olympus, the original one. Let me just pull up that mother. That's what I was going to pull up. I was going to pull up the Olympus. I'll just do it in post. Boom! Look at that, crazy. It's just I love that. I loved it. I had a different idea for it completely. I already put it out. I had T-shirts of it, which now I think that's cool. That's album art that didn't get to be. Now there's a vinyl with this on it, and I think this just I was like, yes, this is Olympus. This needs to be out. The vinyl's got to be a crazy color. It's gonna be an experience to get this thing, and I can't wait. And the other day I was just sitting with my vinyls, and my vinyl collection is small. It's small, but it's banging. It's banging. I got 6 vinyl records, and the first 2 I'll show you, man. It's the legend, Bob Marley. I got 2 Bob Marley records. You know, I got the best of. You know, which is the bangers. And then I got Exodus. Whew, let's go. Crazy. Love me some Bob, obviously. I'm a dreadlock fellow now. You know what I'm saying? Dreadlock hippie out here, fam. And then, fam, I got the K-Dot collection, dog. Look at this. This is one of the most... Out of the things that I owned, I'm blocking the light. Out of the things that I owned, I don't know if I mentioned the vinyls. The vinyls were one of my favorite things, man. Look at this. Good Kid, Mad City, vinyl record, not even open. Oh my God. Look at this. Look at this. To Pimp a Butterfly. Look at that. Not even open. Oh my goodness. Wow. Look at these pieces of art. Then we got, damn. Oh my, look at that. And the green on the back. Oh, get out of here. And then Mr. Morale and the Big Steppers. Look at that. Oh my God. Oh my God. You know, oh my goodness. And just seeing these, and I'm like, oh man, I can't wait for Olympus to come out on vinyl. You know, I don't think every project needs vinyl. I think people like it, you know, and I think that's cool. But like as an artistic choice, I don't know if I'm going to be doing everything on vinyl. This might be the only vinyl I put out for a little while, and then I think I'm just going to do other media forms, you know. But Olympus, ever since the beginning, for some reason, I just wanted it to be on vinyl, so it will live on vinyl. You know what I'm saying? And I'm getting so hyped over it. Oh, and that's another thing I want to bring up. So talking about all these vinyls. So, you know, I love me some Kendrick vinyls, as you can see. Yo, so Interscope, that's the label, unveiled. Yeah, that sounds correct. A $2,500 USD limited edition vinyl EP of Kendrick Lamar's To Pimp a Butterfly. Available in an edition of only 100. Oh my goodness. But it's crazy. You know, Gucci designed some shit for it, and there's like an exclusive magazine. Oh man, it looks crazy. You know, That's wild. That's a wild thing to have. That's so crazy. So I'm so excited. I'm so excited to be putting out my vinyl. That's wild. That to be at that kind of level where it's like, but To Pimp a Butterfly, to get that edition of To Pimp a Butterfly, I get the vinyl game. It's crazy. It's crazy. My youngest sibling, yo, their collection, they got their collection of vinyls banging. Even my mom, her collection's getting banging. It's vinyl record. And did you know that only 50% of all vinyl collectors have a record player? I mean, I don't even have one. Because I don't really even listen, and I know I should, but I want to put that in the studio eventually so it can blast through the crazy speakers. That's when we leveling up the studio. Sound first, stuff like that, and later. But you know what I'm saying? But it's like, I don't know, man. There's something about having this. It's just, it's so, man, it just gets me excited, and the goal is originally 1,000, but we might have to up that up to like 10,000. If we can do 10,000 sales it's really going to set us up in a really good position. It's going to be very hard, but there's like, we always shoot for the stars. We like that big shit, And when I first was talking about it, because for the last 2 projects, the physical copies, I've sold 300 each, and that's been out without a mark. Just like the hard CD, like the actual CD. We sold 300 of Life, which was my first album. We sold 300. That was great. And then fucking 300 copies of Good People, the EP I dropped as a CD. Again, 300, that's great, and we sold a bunch of merch in between. We did some crazy shows so far. And so I think Olympus deserves to be 10,000, I think that's a crazy goal, and I think it's a goal that we're striving to hit. And I think that I've put the time, I've put the money, and I got the people together to make the album, and I think it's worth 10,000 vinyls, I think it's cool that we only doing 10,000, I think that's the cool part, because people going to come back and they're going to be like, damn it, I wish I got that album. I wish. We dropping the last song that will come out from the album digitally June 13th, and that's cool too. This is the last one. This is the last song you hearing from Olympus, the vinyl. And then the next stuff you'll hear from me will be Olympus Part 2, or I got some features that might come out between there too. That's a different thing too. Those are, those are cool too. I love those. I love when the other things pop off that I'm working on while I'm doing the other stuff. But I think it's all beautiful. And eventually, I hope to time more things out better so that the build's way more fluid. But it's hard to judge what's going to happen in the future. But with more resources and a bigger team, not even a bigger team, just more resources, really, we're going to be able to do cooler and cooler things. Everything just comes back in. That 10,000 album sales, it will be split up between everyone who's been on the project evenly, and then the rest of it will go right back into the company, pushing things forward into... We got some crazy plans we're working on. We're working with some grant funding systems and stuff right now. And oh man, the future of JusJrdn is going to be cool, but the future of Prime Purpose movement is going to be exciting too. It's not always easy, but it's cool. There's exciting times, So we're working on all kinds of stuff from all kinds of ends, and it's fun and it's exciting. I love doing this shit because we just trying to put out good shit in the world. And I was just thinking about this morning, man. PPM, Prime Purpose Movement, better art and healthier people will change the world. I just believe that down to my very core. Even so much that, like, man, I'm cutting weight. I'm going hard with the training, hard with the eating. We getting shredded again. We getting fucking, let's get it. We getting optimized fit. I've been watching so many things. Let me sidetrack into health for a second. I've been watching so many things on longevity. Shout out Peter Ati. I believe that's how you say his name. Man, he's been on some podcasts talking about some longevity shit, and I'm just thinking about health in a different way now. I'm thinking about health no more about, these little goals like losing 10, 20 pounds or whatever, or trying to put on 15, 20 pounds of muscle, whatever those goals. And then it's like about the long-term goals. It's like, man, how you want to be moving in your 50s, 60s, 70s, 80s. And what you're doing now will help you later, And they were talking about, I can't remember who I saw. They were talking about this headroom. And this is what I thought was very cool. Because it's like, we all know we age and we start to decline, you know? But the higher you can build yourself up while you can, and you can always be building yourself up. So let's talk about this from a skeletal, let's talk about this from a muscle mass perspective. And remember, I'm a personal trainer by trade. I also finish shit, you know? So I'm not half-ass. I kind of know what I'm talking about, you know? But I'm not a doctor, nothing like that. And so let's talk about muscle mass. Let's say you're able to put on, so say you could put on 10 pounds of muscle. You could put on quite a bit more pounds of muscle than that, but depending on your age and what you're doing. But say over the next 30 years, and your starting point was 10 pounds of muscle. Over the next 30 years, it's going to start to decline. And I don't know what the rate of and then that's where, you know, I think the rate of decline, it depends on genetics, environmental factors, and then your diet, exercise, things like that all come into play. But you can, all I'm trying to say is say in the same amount of time you were able to put on, instead of 10 pounds of muscle, you were able to put on 50 pounds of muscle. Let's do it big. It's just that your decline, you're at you have more to lose, essentially. You have more to lose. And so that's really inspired me to be like, okay, you know, I'm young, relatively speaking still. I'm ambitious and I'm willing to like put in some hours, you know? So it's like grow while you can still grow, and you can grow for a very long time. And so it's like, okay, let's get as fit as we can. Let's get as knowledgeable as we can. Let's create as much as we can right now. And, you know, the more you master your skills, you know, I'm trying to be a better musician. I'm trying to be a better marketer. I'm trying to be a better business owner. I'm trying to be a better human brother, son, all the things, you know? And it's like the more competent I can become in all those things now, the more skills, better communication skills, the better written skills, the better vocal skills, the better piano skills, the better cooking skills, all of them, master them. And and this is why mastery is such an impressive thing, because it's like, it just gives you the biggest shot at being able to do that thing for the longest time. And that's what they were talking about. It's like the skills you really love. I believe he was saying driving a car, for instance. It's like, if you really don't want to lose that skill, you should be doing that as much as you can all the time. Like, you know, so you can build the competency of that. And so with the decline, you can be good, you know? And so I just thought, so anyways, this is why I love studying also biology and watching the studies and hearing some of the crazy things going on in health and the most modern research of it all, you know? It's fascinating. I think there's motivation, because I think people get scared by things where they should get motivated and be like, okay, this is the new information. I heard this quote. I don't know who it's by. But it goes, never fear the truth. And that's such a empowering thing to think about, because, you know, and I try to live by that the most, because it's like, you get a lot of bad news in life. You know, I'm constantly, especially as an artist, I'm constantly applying for things, showcases, reaching out for features, trying to get people to work on teams and stuff like that. And you get rejected all over the place all the time. And that's okay. There's nothing wrong with stuff like that. It's like, people take things so, and sometimes I do too. It's something I'm growing and evolving through as well. But it's like, just brush it off. You know, you didn't fit in that program. You spent friggin' 3-4 weeks writing that grant just to get declined. They won't tell you why. It's okay. Brush it off. Move on. That song, you know, wasn't released properly through the distribution deal. No one really has an answer. No one really gives a fuck. That's okay. Move on. Improve. That's okay. We're learning, you know? It's just like when the truth presents itself, it's like, take that information and then make the next better decision. It's okay to adjust to things. It's like, man, it's your trajectory. And that's why it's so important to have a goal in place in kind of all the areas of your life. Because it's like, that's adjust to that plan, you know? You know, and then it's like, there's this other quote, and it's like, you should be the key to success is to be as rigid as I believe it's a bamboo tree. No, it's not a bamboo tree. As rigid as a... I wonder if I can find it. This is a good one, man. Basically, a tree that is too rigid, I can't find a quote, but basically what this quote is saying is like, a tree that is too rigid, a strong enough wind will knock that tree over, If that tree is too rigid, knock it over. While some trees that can sway quite a bit with the wind, they're flexible, they're rigid as like, they're not exploding or something. They're not splitting at the seams, again, with a big enough storm, obviously. But take the metaphor for what it is. A tree that is rigid and formed in itself, but flexible with the wind, has the better chance of withstanding the storm, something like that, something crazy like that. Oof. I think I did a pretty good job of saying it. And I think that's a crazy thing, because I think I just flow like that, man. I just flow like that. It's like, okay, take the information for what it is right now, adjust, let's see what's up. These are what my goals are, and I'm always goal setting. All the time, I'm looking at the goals, the year goals, 5 years goals, 10-year goals, and adjusting. Week goals. Oh, pardon me. Daily goals, weekly goals, all the time. I got a checklist, man, and I heard I always forget his name. That all right. Matthew McConaughey. He was talking about his checklist too, and it's like, man, I have a checklist. I write it the night before every day, and I update it. I text it to myself, and I'm constantly I got goals written down on everything. Anyway, so I break things down, and so Matthew McConaughey, he was saying he's got this checklist and he likes to add anything to it. He's like, take out the trash, call my mom, give so-and-so, whatever it is, work out, write the book, park, whatever, And I was like, yeah, that's great. Because it's such a good feeling to have this checklist. And when you're accountable to yourself and you're following the routines and you're getting the things done, you see the progression and you see the results and you feel good. And you're like, okay, let's go, let's do this. And it's just something that really inspired that. I've always kind of done that, especially with personal training. My schedule was hour blocked. So I always kind of blocked off, boom, in sections like that. So that's, I think, the first thing that really taught me how to schedule my time. I did it awfully then. I feel like I do a much better job now of it. I'm always looking to improve. But that being said, my goals are always the same primarily, because my vision is clear, especially with Prime Purpose Movement. My vision is clear. Better art and healthier people will change the world. I truly and deeply believe that. And so I strive my best to create the best art that I can, and we are eventually going to become the best creation of art. And then I hope to also move into marketing and advertising and create the best art, create the best foreign media there as well. I got ideas for books that I want to write and all kinds of stuff. We're doing all kinds of stuff. And then we're not even talking about the health side of things. I want to take over the boot camp game. I want to take over the boot camp game, because that's just, there's very few people that run a better boot camp than Jay, And we just want to do crazy concerts, crazy health things, all kinds of stuff. But we're starting small, we got this podcast kicking off. And so that's cool. And we're just going to keep growing from here. It's fun stuff. It's fun stuff. It's hard, but it's exciting. You know what I'm saying? While we're talking about this, I'll answer that other question I got. He was asking the other question I got from, Let me just freaking pull up his name. Cool Dude 100CA on Instagram. And I was thinking about this question too, actually, this morning. He said, where did you first start working on music? Man, I honestly have been fooling around, and I was thinking, because I always used to say, we got this piano. My mom's friend gave us a piano when I was in, I don't know, I think maybe elementary school, maybe junior high. I think in elementary school, like higher grades, like 5, 6 maybe. We're talking like 2005-ish, I'm thinking. And I remember playing around on that, just jamming around a little bit. That's always where I thought it started. But I actually remember before that getting like, one of those little Casio, whatever the fuck, like keyboards you get at like, Walmart or and whatever the cheap one, little one is, like it's a toy, and I think that was my first time starting to play with music. And then I remember getting that piano, and then I remember getting an audio interface, my first audio interface, and a microphone, and doing the research on how to start recording myself. And so I started fooling around with that. I remember our basement had a flood, and it wrecked all of my audio equipment. I remember I had a different microphone then too. It was like the green one with the gold. It was a good mic. Oh yeah, this baby right here. Look at this. This was one of my first microphones. Wow, I had like the shear that everyone has, And but this was crazy, the MXL V67G. And the only reason I stopped using it is because one day when it was in the mic stand fell over, and I don't know, the way the cable worked, it messed up where you plugged it in. And everywhere me and my mom, I remember everywhere we went, they're like, it's for the price to fix it, it's not worth what the mic's worth. The mic's not that crazy, but it was pretty crazy. Now I gotta, and then I remember doing, so it's like I started in the basement. I could record the piano and I could record my mic, and then I remember starting to make little beats. I used to work on a software called Cubase. And then I worked in GarageBand for a little bit, and then I started working in Logic Pro X, and I love Logic. It's affordable, which is so sick. It's like $200, and now I got a better mic, a better audio interface, and these will be things that I continue to upgrade. I got some goals to get some nicer mics for Mr. J and the Heartbroken Homie, because we got a different sound we're going for, and, start renting some synths and vocoders so I can make some cool Daft Punk fucking sounds, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, super exciting. So anyway, I started recording, and then I remember I was able to record in my closet, because before I was recording just like a completely undone basement, like a cement basement, like there's a piano in it. And then eventually my dad and grandpa helped build the basement over a few, I think, years. And eventually my siblings and I had rooms, and then I started making music in that room, and I was able to record in the closet, which gave me a slightly better sound. And then I was able to start making beats, and then I upgraded, started working with people, started asking. I had friends that went to music school after high school, and so I was able to, learn a lot from them. And over the years, I learned more from them, started doing more. I took piano lessons for a little bit. I don't even know, maybe 6 lessons or something. I don't know. So I took a little bit of piano lessons. Most of it's just self-taught, and then learning from the homies. And then, whenever I'm around some crazy motherfuckers, like EDM stuff, like I was at a music festival one time, and everyone's kind of like on their laptops setting up their stuff, and I was just like, oh, what software you using over there? Oh, okay, let's see. Let me see you do some shit, well, let's just, why are you doing that? Oh, that's cool. Oh, just learning, just observing. And, I got to open for people. I got to open for some crazy people. Tyga, Ace Hood, who was that's always one of the craziest things that I ever got to do. Ace Hood was always one of my biggest idols, and just like, he's just so into health, so into conscious music, but it still bangs, and it's, he's got some huge hits. He's family orientated. I don't know. He just seems like, and so I got to open. Not only did I get to open for him, but I got to meet him after the show, and I got this picture of it. Maybe I'll throw it up there. And man, that's one of the greatest things that music ever did to me. I was like, man, this was like an idol that I got to shake his hand. That was wild. That was one of the coolest experiences of my whole life. And so, I've gotten to meet lots of crazy artists, local and big ones. I got to have conversations with really cool people in the industry, and it's just a wild ride. And this is why I continue to do it, even on the times when it becomes hard and it's challenging. It's because it's like, man, it's cool, and there's a lot of cool people, and it's just, there's so much area for growth and exploration and innovation, and that's why I hope PPM comes. We're working on some really big visionary things, and what we're going to do with tech and music is going to be pretty cool over the next, I think, decade. And you'll see in like 2-3 decades what PPM will be. You guys will be like, oh shit, that's what they were building. Yeah, it's gonna be cool. So anyways, we working on some really cool stuff, and then this is where I like it too, because it's like I got these big ideas, and then I got these artist ideas. It's like, man, let's do a music video like this, let's wear this, let's do this, our goal is this. Even just making the switch to kind of like the EDM music over the last few weeks or month or whatever I've been doing, it's crazy. The inspiration I've been getting from making some shit has been cool, and how I'm starting to listen to music is different right now, because I'm listening through it through like an electronic producer type vibe instead of like a hip hop producer type vibe, and so it's just cool. I'm just having a good time. Working on some big dreams, not even dreams, goals, because it's like, there's another saying, it's like people overestimate what they can do in a year and underestimate what they can do in a decade. And so it's like, oh, okay, figure out the short term while you work for the long term, and that's what it's about. That's what I'm doing right now. And sometimes things just get hard. It gets hard in everyone's quest, Everyone's got different challenges, but it's like, man, figure those out. And that was another thing that was like life-changing for me when I heard. And I think it was Elon Musk, but I could be wrong. And he's like, a CEO's job is to solve problems. And he's like, I was like, oh, yes, of course. Let's solve some motherfucking problems. I love problems. There's a solution out there somewhere. Let's get it, And I just apply that to everything, man. It's crazy. It's yeah, the art game's crazy, the business game's crazy, and I'm just excited about a lot of things. I was originally gonna call this the podcast about nothing, and I was gonna talk about my love for Seinfeld, because the whole thing is that it's a TV show about nothing. And then Wale sampled Seinfeld, made it with Jerry Seinfeld too. And he's got the album about nothing. And that album is crazy. The samples that they use. And man, the one thing I always think, I was like, that sample must cost a fortune. This is one of the biggest TV shows of all time. That's why I was like, this is crazy. Because that album sampled the TV show, and then it had Jerry Seinfeld talk over some of the parts too. They had like little music video clips of them sitting in the freaking cafe and stuff. Oh, I was like, this must have cost a fortune to make. And it's a beautiful piece of art, man. I love, that's one of my favorite albums of all time. Shout out Wale, man. That album is crazy. The album About Nothing. It's got one of the best intros too. I believe it's called The Intro About Nothing. Let's pull this up real quick for y'all who can see. Yeah, the album About Nothing. Oof, man, what the intro About Nothing. Yeah, I was right. Yeah, no. Super sick album. Super sick. Super sick album. One of the coolest albums of all time. Then he had a mixtape about, and then it was that Wale, More About Nothing, which was a mixtape, and that was also pretty cool. Again, must have cost a fortune with those samples, you know what I'm saying? And so, anyways, I hope to do cool things like it's inspiring. Anyways, I was gonna talk a whole episode about fucking Seinfeld. I think that might. It's crazy. Seinfeld's pretty crazy, and that album was pretty crazy too. But then I was like, man, now I wanted to talk about these vinyls. We talk about all kinds of shit, you know what I'm saying? Anyways, man, I had so much fun on this episode talking about the vinyls and talking about what's going on. Oh, and that Daily Stoic quote, man, got me hyped as shit. Man, I just want to thank y'all again for listening. Like, follow, comment. If you got questions, just comment or find me on social media, whatever, and we'll answer more questions. Those are fun. And we got some cool stuff. I'm excited to see what we do with the podcast too. That's another cool thing is we got so many things coming and so many things we're working on, and we got some cool guests we're gonna be getting there in the future. And it's just gonna continue to be fun. And I'm excited. Some really cool people have already said yes to doing the podcast. We're just gonna give it some time as it develops and stuff. And then I'm super excited about it. Anyways, have a beautiful day. You're a beautiful soul. More love, more success. Look out for the new track dropping June 30th. June 30th. It's the last track from Olympus, digitally. And then the vinyl gonna be coming out. It's getting excited, y'all. More love, more success. You're a beautiful soul. Have a beautiful day. Have a beautiful week. This has been A Moment with Jay. Just like that, I like that. Stay dreaming, scheming, homie. Don't let the haters weigh you down. Smoke the split the list you up. Know the word of y'all. Favor not. Know the word. Know the words in your favor.
I hope you know, with every darker night, there's a brighter day. Through the chaos, we'll be okay. Sending nothing but positive vibes your way. Love for always. Jay.